Um, Hello. My lighting is not great. Wait a few minutes just for a few more people to get on. I'm assuming I could be heard. I think so. Just get this tested. Rivka, do you hear me? Okay. Just need to make sure the audio is coming through.
Hi, Z.
Hey, y'all. All right. Monica, if you are one or Moshe Biton, if one of you wants to come on live, I guess we'll get it started a little bit. I'll give a small introduction. For those that don't know me, my name is Maishi Korf. I live here in Miami, in Sunny Isles Beach. I had the merit to be able to get to know Sholem a little bit. We used to learn here in my house on occasion, and right here where I'm sitting. And I also, by Hashgacha Pratit, divine providence, I found myself about 12 years ago. I was younger single guy learning in Caracas, Venezuela, and I used to go every week to the high school in Hebraica Moral y Luces, for those that are familiar. And at the time I had the merit to get to know the students then of the high school, mainly the seniors, the fifth year and fourth year students. In other words, the oldest two. What? Spotlight the speaker. Sorry about that. So I was, at the time, so I was in Venezuela, and I got to know a bunch of great students in the fourth and fifth year, the oldest two grades. And close to the end of my first year in Venezuela, there was a tragic story that I'm going to let one of those that lived it a little more firsthand than I did share it. Now, I just want to explain, my point here is not to try and compare one tragedy to another or to minimize one or the other. Just as, like I said, I found myself to be in a situation, and it gave me flashbacks and reminded me, knowing the Sholem's friends now and seeing what they were going through, and reminded me of my friends a number of years back who, in this similar fashion, only in the idea that they lost a friend suddenly, and then found themselves in that position and had to deal with it. I'm gonna try and let them speak, tell their story a little bit, and then hopefully some of the Miami teens, who are now the kind of the same age that they were at the time, could try and get a conversation going. Maybe could I think there's a lot of shared experiences here, different people, different times, and now different ages. But maybe by discussing together, we'll be able to create a space for us to share our feelings and experiences, and maybe it will be a chance for us to share together. So I guess Moshe or David or Monica, I don't know if one of you wants to say your story, just to introduce us.
Maybe should go. Moshe Viton should start.
Should I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course, yes.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say that I really feel for everybody here, and it's very. I know it takes even a lot of courage to just join the call and just opening up and trying to join together with everybody. That in and of itself is really powerful. So I just want to share, first of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Moshe Viton. I was known as Bimbi at the time in high school. I still know as Bimbi, but my Hebrew name is Moshe. And we were in quinto año, which is 11th grade, right? 11th grade. And I'm just gonna share a little bit the story quickly. So, of course, like Moshe said, it's not to compare, but just so you can understand why we're here and why this space is being created. Is because, like Moshe, when he brought it up, I also felt very much that it will be interesting to just connect, even though it's not the exact same situation. So we were in 11th grade, and one of our best friends who's here, we were very, very, very close to him. His name was Gabriel Feigel. And it was one of the last days in high school year. We were really excited. We were finishing high school, and we were all jumping around, dancing, and it was kind of like a tradition in the school. Like we were going all around all the different classrooms and just celebrating that we are finishing high school. And suddenly we hear, or I heard, I wasn't there at the moment, but I heard that someone told me, "Oh, Gabriel fell," and like he's in the floor. So he was like in the first floor or the second floor. So I went upstairs, and when I came upstairs, they were doing CPR on him, and it was so strange because I was just with him, like literally 20 minutes before, handing out some handouts. We were having a Shabbaton that we were preparing together, and like what happened, and they're doing CPR and they're calling the ambulance, and well, just to make it short, they brought the ambulance. We all went to the hospital, and maybe half an hour or 20 minutes the time that we were in the hospital, maybe an hour, we were all in the waiting room, and then one of our teachers came out, and he tells us, he just comes out, and you can see in his face that and he told us that our friend Gabriel passed away, and it was a terrible shock for everybody. Like we couldn't believe it, and well, that's basically the story. So from then on, just so each one of us had different experiences, but of course, the shock that many of you can probably relate to, like hearing the news and then trying to go through it together. And well, there was many were trying to make different things for him, and Shabbat dinner and prayers and classes and things, but that's basically the story, and that's what we went through. Gabriel was a very close friend of us, and he still is a very close friend of us. And so that was basically our experience. Should I share something else, Mashina, or should we continue?
I guess if anybody wants to speak up, I guess just let me know. I guess if the only one that I know is leaving soon is Monica. So in case she wants to speak before she goes, let me know. If you have something to share, go ahead. Or if David has something, or like I said, if somebody has something else they want to ask, speak up. I'm going to try and keep this just as open and open forum as possible and fluid. But for now, if nobody's responding, so then Moshe,
Sure.
you continue.
I can continue a little bit. Hi, everyone. My name is David Kaufman. As Moshe said before, yeah, we were very close to Gabriel, and I want to say that I'm very sorry also for what happened to Sholem. I didn't have the chance to knew Sholem, but I see that they have very similar characteristic as Gabriel, that they were a very happy persons. And when Moshe invite me to participate here, many things happen in my mind. And one of the first things that happened in my mind is that I remember when, like, the first person that took me from the floor in the hospital to get up was Moishi in that moment. And I can stop thinking in that image, like, how can I say to no to Moshi to be here today and to help others as he helped me in that moment that was priceless, no? So definitely it's a situation, and many questions happen in our minds in those moments, asking why, or why him, or for what Hashem wants to teach us with this lesson. And definitely one of the main messages that I learned after that happened with Gabriel is that he's always gonna be here with us. And I every time that I was very sad, and every time that I was like down and without hope or anything, the first thing that I try to ask myself is what Gabriel want from us in this moment, no? And asking me that question and answering was one of the best thing that happened to me, because I realized that crying was being like selfish in a moment for me, because uh, he doesn't want us to cry. Like, what he wants is what is seeing us, everybody, enjoy and growing and making good actions. And of course it's difficult in the first days, weeks, month. Actually, it took me like 4 months to realize this analysis that I'm telling to you right now in this moment. But definitely once I realized, after like 4 months of basically crying every day, I realized that he doesn't want us to cry every day. He wants us to be joy, and to enjoy life, and to help others, and to grow, and to do actions in his name. Because at the end, uh, I think this type of things that happen in life are impossible to explain, or impossible to find one reason. At the end, Hashem has a plan for each one of us. And we are not gonna be able to understand exactly the reasons of every action. What we can do with the action is what we can learn from it, no? And how can we move forward, and how can we live like a good feeling from what happened in this world, and to live I don't know how to say that in English, Moishi, if you can help me.
Leave their mark. I mean, I think you say it I think the
Yeah.
phrase works in English to leave their mark,
Or-
leave a mark. Yeah.
So, well, that's one of the basic things, that the main things that I want to share today is that, yeah, definitely it's a situation that it's very heavy, but we need to be, of course, always together, and helping between not only the friends, also with the family. It's very important, because I remember what happened when Gabriel passed away, that, yeah, the first 30 days, like, we were very close to the family. And what happened later, no? Like the Shiva, you have like when you're in that situation, you have always like people coming to your house, or helping. Of course, in this time with Corona, it's very more difficult. But once like everybody goes normal in life again, the most difficult part is for the parents, and it's very important always to be together with the family and help the family. And what I always say to the parents of Gabriel is, yeah, you lose a son, but you gain like 100 new songs with all the friends of the promotion, because we are always going to be there to you for whatever you need. So I think it's also very important that to be together always with the family and to support. And of course, I'm open to hear, I don't know, any type of question or whatever I can say at the end. I'm not a psychologist or a specialist in the area. I'm just sharing my personal thought and my personal experience that I had 12 years ago. And I can assure you that 12 years later, I have the presence of Gabriel every day in me. And I always try to think about in him and to remember him everything, and to be present every day in my life.
Um, Thanks. I wanted to ask if there's any of the friends of Sholem that wants to share with you guys. And you Moshe, David, and the others, the other classmates. They heard a bit of the story of Sholem, but from me, from my perspective, and briefly, just to give a more proper synopsis. If anybody wants to get in and I guess unmute yourself and speak up.
I will say, sorry to interrupt, that
Yes, please.
I don't think it's necessary, to share everything that happened. I think that, the feeling of together. So it feels like you guys don't want to share the experience because it's so recent. That's okay too. I think that just by sharing the, being here together, you can ask questions without necessarily giving us that much context, because I think that, it's okay, and you don't have to really the whole experience so soon. But yeah.
No, you're right. I just trying to coax everyone out from their behind their mute button. Yeah, but once you're speaking, you have something. I know you had an interesting thought. You shared it earlier, but now that we did catch you, if you want to speak.
Yeah. No one else, has questions before I speak, for sure. I will say it's really hard to be here and have this conversation, even, so many years later. Thinking about it, I still, get emotional and definitely nervous. But hi, everyone. I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Monica. And, I'm so sorry that you guys are going through this, and that we're here because of that, and that we're meeting under these circumstances. Going through the loss of a friend or a loved one, or, anyone, it really sucks. And I hope that, this conversation brings at least a little bit of comfort. And if it doesn't, know that that's okay too. I know that there's not really that much I can tell you that would really make a difference right now. At least I know that for me at that time, we went through so many shooting and so many people talked to us, and I don't really feel like there was a lot that gave me comfort then. But hopefully, at some point when you are ready to get the comfort or to feel comforted, you can lean on some of like the things that we're telling you now, and this conversation in general. But I guess the biggest thing that I would say, and by the way, I share everything that all my friends have said until now, and I agree with them. But I guess for me, the biggest thing that I hope to like share with you guys is that there really is no right or wrong way of grieving. And know that whatever you are experiencing, it's okay. And we all go through a process like this in our own way, and whatever we feel, it's unique to us. And I guess do your best to avoid comparing yourself to others. Maybe you don't feel sad one day, and maybe one day you're like extremely sad, and sometimes might nothing. You might not feel anything, and however you feel, know that that's okay too. I wish I knew that back then. I wish I knew not to compare what I was going through with other people, because it's super unique to everyone. And I guess the other thing that I wish I would have done back then is find a support system, and not that I didn't have one. Like, we were all together, and like David said, you know, it was great to be with a family, and you know, we spent a lot of time there. And obviously you guys are, you know, have an added layer of stress with everything that's going on, so I'm really, you know, I feel for you for that. But you know, even if it's just like one good friend or family member, or you know, if you have a therapist that you can count on, or anything that will bring you comfort to the extent possible, you know, be open about what you're feeling. It's, you know, I wish I didn't bottle all my feelings so much when I was in that situation. And, you know, when you're ready, let them help you. And this might not be today or tomorrow, but, you know, whenever you are ready, find that. And I guess one thing that I would say might be a bit controversial here, but I personally didn't find comfort in religion, like many of my friends here did. And I just wanted to share that that's also okay, just as long as, you know, you find something that does bring you comfort. It's okay. I guess I'm saying it's okay a lot just because I want to normalize whatever experience you're having. And I guess lastly, I just want to say, you know, you're all very strong and very resilient, and you'll get through this. You know, it's been 12 years and I still cry when I think about Gabriel, but I also now smile, and I'm able to smile when I think of him, and it just takes time. You know, it's just time to learn how to also smile when you think of your friend, and you'll get there. I promise. And it'll be just your, and, you know, obviously know that I'm here for you, even though we don't know each other. I'm always open if you need to reach out, or, you know, just don't go through this alone. But yeah, I mean, I extended myself more than I thought I would, but I'm sorry that you guys are going through this, and hopefully, you know, you'll get to take something away from it, even though you don't have to. But yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for sharing.
Moshe, I want to answer a question that was made in the public. If we did something like specifically to leave a mark in the name of Gabriel, and
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
One second.
Sure.
I didn't realize who was speaking, and I saw
David.
like the wrong video.
No,
Yeah, sorry.
no worries. So yeah, I want to start answering that question. Definitely are many things that anybody can do in order to leave a mark in the name of the person. In our case, I remember we did first like the name of the promotion. Every promotion in Venezuela, like you put a name of a character or
Yeah,
something.
the graduating class.
The graduating class, exactly. Sorry, in Spanish is promotion. The word the graduation class. We put it in his name. We also did like donations in his name. We also, when we were in the youth movement, we also named like a group in his name. And I think the most important is like to remember what he always loved to do, and try to impact. I think in that scenario, I know that Sholem was a very fanatic of the Judaism, and also in soccer. And I think those are two areas that there are many actions that can be done in order to always be remembered. That's in group, no? Personally, I always try to give tzedakah in his name. Or I remember once I helped a rabbi that was writing a book, so I make a donation so his name can appear also in a book. But definitely are many things that that we all can do in order to elevate his soul, and also to leave his name always on top of good causes and good things. I think it's a very cool way on helping.
David, can I
Sure.
pick up on that note? Are you?
Please, I finish.
Yeah. Danny, if you want to say something, I just want to say something quickly before I lose my thought, because I feel like Monica was saying something really, really powerful, actually. I feel that that's something that I want, first of all, I want to say that a lot of what we're sharing is also very personal. This is a very personal experience. You know, everybody goes through it in their own way, and doesn't have to be anyway. Doesn't have to be. You know, I just want to just say, I wasn't religious. Like I was in a traditional family, and I became very close to Hashem and very close to the Torah, a lot because of what happened with Gabriel, and that was my personal experience. And everybody had their own path, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be anyway. You know, it's very important to have that in mind. I remember that when at the beginning, one of the things that was very powerful for me was, you see my friend Daniel over there. He'll speak soon. Daniel became my brother after Gabriel passed away. Like, I literally moved into his house, and again, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is not because I'm trying to give you advice of what you should do. You should go and knock on Daniel's house in Miami and stay in his house. I'm saying, what I'm trying to bring out is that something that was in a very personal way, the connection with friends, the connection with those that were going through the experience. Because even though we all go through it in a personal way, at the same time, it's something that touched all of us, and we were all affected by it one way or another. Not even just our class, even our whole school, our whole community. Everybody that had a connection. So, you know, for me, something that was very powerful, very important, was the fact that we were able to go through it together. You know, give me so much strength. And I know now, and like my friends were saying before, I know now must be really hard because of Corona, but you know, the other side is like, we have this opportunity, like, you know, doesn't have to be like seeing each other face to face, but constantly being in contact with those that are going through it, and trying to let out your emotions, whatever those emotions are. Even if you one day you wake up and you're fine, it doesn't mean that you have to be sad, you know? Like, so sometimes we felt, or at least I felt, that I had to be sad. Like, I have to cry. I have to, you know, like, how can I enjoy myself if this tragedy happened? And that's a lot of pressure that not necessarily that you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to feel anything. You don't have to feel anyway. And I think that's what David was saying before, that when he was saying that at a certain point he realized that Gabriel just wants he just wants us to continue our lives and to move on, and to enjoy ourselves and to be happy, and we shouldn't have to try to always be sad. You know, it's a very, very important point. But something that I do want to say regarding this this point on trying to do something for Gabriel, connected to what I was saying before, something that was very comforting, at least for me, was the fact that recognizing that Gabriel's life continues on, and Sholem's life continues on, even though in a physical plane, he's not necessarily with us right now, but it doesn't mean that his life is not continuing. It's continuing in a different plane, and you know, many of you maybe have religious background, maybe if you have a connection with the Torah, maybe not. But one of the things that was very comforting for me was to know that when I do a good deed, you know, I do a mitzvah, I try to help another person, and I do it in the name of Gabriel, this is making his life tangible in a physical world. This is something that is having an impact in Gabriel's soul and in Gabriel's legacy in the physical world, not just in a spiritual sense, even in a physical sense. Like David was saying, just the fact that, you know, David, he donated a book that can help people develop and become better in the name of Gabriel, and someone will read this book and become a better person because of that. That's a direct impact that Gabriel Feigl is having on that person's life, you know? So in a sense, you know, I think that's so comforting, that's so powerful to recognize that, yes, of course, it's so sad and it's so terrible. Gabriel and Sholem had very short lives, and I see someone is commenting that you know, that they missed out on so much, and it's true. But in a sense, we could kind of like allow ourselves to live the life in the physical world for them, and at least for me, again, this is very personal, for me, recognizing that was really, really powerful. Recognizing that if I do a good deed in the name of Gabriel, in a sense, Gabriel is doing that good deed with me, and if I am able to make like we were saying, like make a mark, to leave some, to touch someone else's life in the name of Gabriel, or even my own life, even make a personal project of becoming a better person just because Gabriel inspired me. So I know I'm speaking too much, but I just want to share one last thing that was very powerful for us, that Gabriel, his nickname was Fe. If you speak Spanish, fe means faith in English. And when he passed away, we all felt that, why specifically him, his nickname was Fe. Like, we have to have faith. And faith, for what it meant for me at the moment, was we don't understand. And we were all trying to find answers, and we were asking all the rabbis, like, why will God do something so bad to someone so good? And he was such an amazing person. He was so kind. And we all have these questions, and we're never gonna have the answer for that. And it's, maybe we shouldn't even try to find the answer, because we will never find it. But so that's what faith is. It's just to recognize that I have the opportunity now to bring my friend into the physical world, even though he's not here. And that's something that I can definitely, that's something that can definitely make a difference in his name. So just those two things. So just to make a summary of what I said was, first of all, that you don't have to feel any way. You don't have to feel sad necessarily. You can wake up in the morning and feel okay, and that's fine. That's one thing. And also that trying to find comfort in trying to bring your friend's memory into the physical world, and you living your life through him, or he living his life through you. Yeah.
Well, I think it's my turn, no? Hey, what's happening later? Can you guys hear me?
Sí, te escuchamos, papi.
Okay, great. Okay, beautiful words that everyone said. For me, actually, it's very hard to speak about something in particular regarding the feeling and that you might be going through.
Danny.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, just to introduce you, is you're one of the people here that actually, I'm not sure how many times you met Sholem, but I know that you knew, you were classmates in YU with Sholem's brother?
Yes, I know. I saw Danny here in the conversation. Hey, Danny, are you around? And I saw also Menachem. Menachem, are you here? Hey, bueno, good to see you guys. I saw you. Maybe you guys saw me, or I saw you a couple of, like in the minyan that we had last week in Sholem's house, in the Benchimol's house. Yes, I'm good friends with Danny from YU. I'm originally, well, like David, all these guys here from Venezuela. Estamos aquí. Saludos, Menachem. Muchos abrazos. Y bueno, esto, I would like to start saying that this is in memory, everything that we're doing right now, it's in memory of Sholem, Ben Chaim Sholem Ben Yossi, and Zichron Libracha, and Gabriel Ben Eli, Zichron Libracha, and for all of us that we are here about speaking about these two beautiful souls. And all right, so it's for me still hard to speak about it, about the feeling, about the experience that I went personally through. Everything that what my friends mentioned, it's true. Like, everybody has a very personal experience going through these very, very hard times in life. And from my perspective, this feeling that you have today or last week or whenever it happened, it's gonna transform within you. And sometimes it's gonna be negative, and sometimes it's gonna be positive. When it becomes negative, you guys are not gonna be able to sleep. This is normal, you know. You're not gonna be, maybe you have a hookah and you smoke a lot of hookah during those nights. This is, maybe you eat a lot of pizza, you know, you gain a lot of weight this month. This is, everybody's gonna take it in different approach, you know, like it's a big hit at the beginning. I would like to say personally, it's one of the biggest ones that I had in my life. Uh, I would, it's the biggest one for sure that I had in my life. Having this happening to me, you know, you make plans with your friends. You know, we want to go to Boston and to study there and English, and then go to BU or whatever it is. Or we had another plan. I remember going to Europe, Akshara, no. 6 months and then going to that. So you make plans and suddenly all your plans don't exist in a second.
You're
And
the only one that bailed on us in Israel, Danny. Sorry.
yeah, right, Papa. See, well. uh, so every time the feeling that you have transforms within you, uh, I believe. I believe. Sorry, I believe that I haven't like uh, I haven't overcome this feeling that I have, or this, how hurt I am about the losing of Gabi. I haven't overcome it after 12 years. I still have my nights that I dream, and I think about, shit, bro, we miss college together, you know. We miss going to his wedding, you know, or whatever. You know, the first time that you went to a bar and alone at 21 years old. We didn't have 21 years old together and get drunk in America. And these are things that we wanted to do. We were speaking about it in Venezuela. Bro, when we live in Boston together, we're going to get fucked up. Yes. And it didn't happen. So things are going to change within you. The feeling is not going to disappear. It's going to change. And in the case of, for example, what David said, I personally, and also Bimbi and Monica and all of us, Moishi, we are doing actions in our daily lives. Every day we're doing actions from many different types of scales. Some of them are more bigger ones, bigger impact, others less impact. But we're doing actions every day in our lives, and I'm doing it in the memory of Gabi Feigel. For example, this Monday, this is the latest one I did. This Monday, I gave a Teilim book to somebody very close to me and somebody that I like very, very much. And I did it in the memory of Gabi Feigel, and I did it in the memory of Sholem. So these are things, you know, little impacts. You know, you give a Teilim Sidur to somebody, but this is a one thing. You know, you can do tzedakah. It's beautiful. You know, when suddenly, randomly, you decide a random community in the world that you're gonna do a donation in the name of your friend, and they have no idea who you are and who's your friend. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Just choose a random cause in the world, preferably if it's Jewish. But if it's not, also go ahead. If you want to help the animals or la naturaleza, nature, go ahead. But there is beautiful organizations out there that you can support and you can.
Danny,
Yeah.
I was just remembering, I don't remember if it was your campaign at the time. Facebook used to be popular a while ago. Were you the one that created the campaign where everybody held a paper that wrote something that mattered to them?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that was like several years ago, when maybe 6 years ago.
Right. I'm just saying that the teenagers, they're not necessarily at a point where they're financially supporting organizations, but viral, campaigns on social media that could actually have an impact or encourage people to do something positive.
I also wanted to. I remember that David, Moshe, Monica, and the other guys, we wanted to build a plaza in Venezuela, like a Gabriel Fegel Plaza. But come on, we were kids, and everybody was living in Venezuela at the time, and we're not civil engineers, we're not in concrete, like how we're gonna make a plaza in the memory of Gabi. And what you say, Moshe, things are gonna start step by step, little by little. The impact that you're gonna make it in your first, you have it's making an impact in yourself. You have to clean out yourself. Why you are a better person because of Sholem? Why? What's the impact that he made in your life? And realize that impact yourself. And 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 start start saying thank you, start saying please, start appreciating life. These are the first lessons that I think that the passing of a really good friend of yours it teaches you for life. And then it keeps growing and growing, and only by you just saying thank you and I love you to your mother every day, that's already a big impact that Shola made in your life. And then you continue, keep moving forward. Moshe, you can, I disagree. You can make tzedakah of $5. You can make.
No, I didn't mean to. Yeah, obviously tzedakah is available. I'm just remembering the campaigns. I'm just remembering the old things because I remember the other things that happened back then. Like I said, that came across the old social media campaign or other projects that happened at different times that Gabriel's name was always mentioned.
Well, what we did, let me speak about a little bit about it. We did in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I had the same feeling similar to you, that I guess, and I definitely wanted to bring Gary Fager names up, and I'm very much related to well, unfortunately, I'm related to cancer survivors. Fortunately, I'm a survivor. So not, and Gabriel is not totally related to cancer or to survivors or not something like that. So by the time in 2014 we decided to compose a book by cancer survivors. David, is that the book that you were referring? Okay, that's the book. That's the book. And we created a book. We collected several cancer survivors in America, in Latin America, and whatever the book was, we did it in the name of Gabi Fagel, and we were printed thousands of copies in Chicago, in New York,
Danny.
in Florida, a couple of them. But you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to do it. If you want to do it, go ahead. But it's the way you feel. Today, the organization doesn't exist. I personally don't feel bad about it. It's beautiful what we do at the time, and I don't know. Like, if anybody has a question, I think it's much better because this topic is it's a very big topic, and I think the people that are speaking today, besides than me, are very cool. Like Moshe, David, and Monica left, and Moshe, like they are very warm people that they can transmit, the feelings, and you can ask any open question, like, and happily we'll take it.
I think Menachem was gonna say something.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to thank all the friends of Gabriel, Danny. Thank you for the word, David, Moishi for organizing this. And to the friends of Sholem, what can I say? Stay strong because, Sholem was probably the strongest person I know. He always used to pick himself up and like move forward. So that's what all of you should do, do it for Sholem, do it for yourself. Like, your life is gonna go move on. It hurts all of us, obviously, but know that if you want to do it for Sholem, try to like, think of your life and think that your life is gonna be better. You're gonna remember him. Try to like adapt some of his character traits. Sean was very strong with family and with friends. His quote, "Do it for the culture." That quote he invented himself. Like he orchestrated. I don't know how he came up with it, but like it was really nice. So try to like work as a group. Think of others before yourself, because that's what Sean used to do always. Try to like make look life as a, try to have fun with it. Try have fun with life, and help others. And like you're gonna feel sad sometimes. You're gonna feel off the boot. Why Sholem? Why Sholem? Why Sholem was such a good kid? Listen, don't. Hashem is the only one that knows his stuff, and he has a reason for it. So don't try to ask those questions. Like know that every one of us has a mission. Sholem had a mission. I have a mission. You have a mission. So we all have a mission. So continue with your mission and try to remember Sholem by taking some of his amazing character traits which he had. Try to smile, try to look life in a positive way. So yeah, I guess it's hard on all of us. It's hard on my family. It's hard on every single friend. And I really want to thank Moishi for organizing this. We can learn a lot from experiences from friends of Gabriel that passed away a few years ago. So take the opportunity to ask them questions, how they dealt with it. As I said, everybody deals with it very differently. So try to ask for help. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Menachem. Thank you for.
Menachem, thank you so much. That was really, really powerful, bro. Thank you. You're so strong, and it means a lot even for us after all these years to hear those words. Are like, you have so much strength, and that strength, I'm telling you, just it's very powerful for everybody.
Thank you. I learned it from my mother. She's the one that gives us all the strength here.
Baruch Hashem.
I'm just gonna, before while we're waiting anyways, in case anybody's gonna ask another question, and before we go back to I'm sure as time's going, more people have more thoughts, but I also wanted to share, there were a few friends that were also very close friends with some of the guys that spoke. They wanted to join. Monica was able to come. She said she would have to leave at 8:30, so luckily we got her then. But two friends, one lives in Spain and the other in Israel. They wanted to join, but it's a little late there now. So they sent in a short video. I know most of this we're having conversation mainly in English. I don't know the percentage of how many speak Spanish, how many don't. I know it is Miami, but so I'm going to share the two short videos. They're like 2 minutes each. Just two friends. One is his name is Gabriel Chakron. He's living now in Israel. I believe he's working something with the government. I'm not sure exactly. And then also Samuel Trusman, who's living in Spain. They were both good friends of Gabriel and of the guys that everyone that's here now. Just share. And I they said when they sent their video, it was pretty powerful to me. So I'm going to put it on, and I apologize to those that don't understand it. But it's bear with me. First, I'm going to put on Gabriel Chakron.
Moishi, we can't hear. So what you have to do is you should share the sound also. You know how to do that?
Yeah,
where you share the screen, there's an option that says also share computer audio, and you can share the audio of the computer.
Sorry. Share computer sound. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if it's sorry. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Still ongoing. Well, all right. Sorry about that. I thought the technical would was gonna. I thought I was gonna get that better. So I will guess if someone wants to speak up and see, I'll see if I can figure this out.
Sure. Well, I can share a couple of other thoughts that I had. Actually, after we get graduated from school, we went for a gap year in Israel, and we were actually Moshe, Biton, and me roommates in that year, and we pass the nights always discussing, and we get very interested in the souls, no? So that's how our journey inside of the Judaism starts, no? Because at the end, when somebody passes away, you cannot answer about the soul to a mathematic or to an engineer. You ask to a rabbi because are the expert in souls, no? So we got very interested, and we started like learning all the concept of the Judaism and what happened with the souls. And one of the things that helped me a lot to get over the situation, and to at least stop crying and start like taking more actions, because of course it takes time, and the pain, it doesn't go away from one day to another. It's the fact of believing that one day I'm also gonna pass away, and in that day I'm gonna be able to see all the souls of the people that I loved during my life, that weren't anymore with me in this earth now. So that gave me a lot of calm, thinking like, okay, I understand that I'm not gonna see him anymore in this life, but in the next one for sure I'm gonna see it. And when I get to him in that life, I want to be sure that I live all the things that he wants to do in this life and in this world. And I want to tell all these stories to him, that I also know that he right now is hearing me, and he's in every step that I make in my life with me. But anyways, in that moment, when that moment comes, God will 120 years, uh, we will have a lot of things to share together, and that calmed me a lot, because that was one of the things that I always ask myself, like, okay, so now when a people pass away, what happened with the soul, and why God takes those types of decisions. And I learned a lot about, of course, I'm not a rabbi, as you can see, but still I'm
Now, David, these days a
yeah,
lot of people look more like rabbis.
yeah. Exactly. I have beard, but I'm not religious or a rabbi, but still I'm a believer, and I believe 100%, and the Judaism helped me a lot, understanding, not only what happened with the soul, is what is my mission here in this world. And I want to share like a little message to you that I learned the other day, reading actually the book that I was telling you before, that I donate for. And it's about the purpose of the person in the life, no? And it was speaking about like, life is, it's like a sport or like a game, no? And you see that the Torah has a lot of rules, and also any sport that you play, it also has a lot of rules. But who's the best player in a sport? The one that follow all the rules? No, that just make you a regular player. The one that is the best player in the sport is the one that, following the rules, make his best, and grow, and make the records. So it's some sort like of like the lifestyle that I try to make every day is asking me like what actions can take me to be the better in what I'm doing in this moment, and what is the most that I can do, following, of course, the rules. The rules for the Judaism is the Torah, but it's not only following the rules; it's also becoming a better person. And what Daniel was saying before, that the little things in life are the most important, like helping anybody that you see that need help. Uh, Also telling everybody that you love, that are around you, brothers, sisters, mothers, uh, and a simple word can change a day of a person, and those little things are the ones that really help to get over these type of situations, and to move forward. And I'm pretty sure that goodwill, all of our souls are gonna be together one day. uh, and that was one of the things that calmed me a lot in that moment, when I realized that I was really going to see him again. Just it's gonna take a little bit of time.
You know, David, with this point that you're saying, it's so true. It's so funny because we were both so connected to this, right? For us, it was so meaningful to explore the idea of the soul. That's what I was saying before. Like, physical life is just physical, but the soul is eternal. And that was always a question. Okay, so if the soul is eternal, so where did the soul go? And how can we be in contact with Gabriel's soul or with Sholem? You know, I want to share with you a story, something that happened to us actually. One of the things that we will do, um, of course, in your side, but even when it was the date of Gabriel's birthday, we would always try to do something. So we went in Israel, we bought like a bunch of chocolates. You remember, David? We bought like a whole bag, like 5, 6, 7 bags of like mekupelet and all these Israeli chocolates, and we stood up in a corner in the street in Israel, giving them away and asking people to say abracha in honor of Gabriel. And we gave out like, I don't know, like 30 or 40, whatever, 50 bars of chocolates to like random people. And we'll say, can you say bracha? And like whatever, random people, okay, fine. They opened the chocolate in the middle of the street and said, Baruch atah Hashem, she'akol nהיה bidvaro, and they will say the bracha in Gabriel's name. So like these little things. So I want to share with you actually something, a very interesting story that happened regarding this point that David was saying. And you know what, it's Moishi, by the way, people are asking some questions in the chat, so we can address that also after. And if anybody, you know, feel comfortable to ask questions, and if you don't feel comfortable asking on your name, or you want to ask anonymously, you can also text Moishi directly if you have his number, or you know, so that also there's that option. Anyways, I want to share with you a story, something that happened. We didn't share this part of the story. Basically, Gabriel, we were supposed to go to Israel together. There is a trip after high school that South Americans we do, is called Akshara. If you guys are familiar with it, maybe you guys will go, hopefully after the corona is finished. So this trip, basically you go to Israel for a year, and it's kind of like a long birthright. You go to the army for 2 months, and you learn for 4 months in Jerusalem about, you know, Judaism, Zionism, many different things. You go to kibbutz, and the plan, Gabriel's plan, was to come with us. So he was part of our group. We were a group of 18, and with Gabriel we were 19. And as I said before, Gabriel passed away literally at the end of the high school year. So he passed away in the middle of June, and our trip to Israel was to August. So that was actually really hard for us. I don't know if, you know, maybe some of you are going through this. That's why I'm saying it, that you had plans to do with Sholem, or like maybe there was like some games or things that you were looking forward to do together, and then like suddenly, you know, this completely disrupts the reality, you know. And anyways, we went to Israel for a year, and that's where I became closer to Judaism, and we explored, David together with me, we explored Judaism in many different ways, and the souls, and we try to learn and try to find answers, and we found many answers. But I want to share with you this story. Basically, when we came back from Israel, we came back like at the end of July, or I don't remember, maybe at the end of June, beginning of July, we came back to Venezuela. And when once we came back, I was already religious. I was religious. I hate that word, by the way. I was already keeping Shabbat and I was keeping kosher. And um, we wanted to do classes and things in the name of Gabriel. So when it came to the time of Gabriel's birthday, Rabbi Shui Rosenblum, for who knows him, he's the shliach of Chabad in Venezuela, one of the shluchim. He was giving a class, and we asked him if he can give the class in honor of Gabriel, because it was Gabriel's birthday, and if we can come and join the class, okay? So he said, yeah, for sure, no problem. And the crazy thing was that the class that he was giving was about life after death. It was a class about the journey of the soul. It was giving a course about the journey of the soul. And we're sitting there, and you know, the class we asked Rabbi Shui to do it in the name of the memory of Gabriel, and suddenly the whole class is about what happens to the soul and the journey of the soul, and how can you get in touch with the soul of a person that passed away, etc. So we were in shock, you know, like what were the chances that specifically that class that he had planned to do was related to this. And we're sitting in the crowd, and I'm telling you, this was crazy. We were sitting there, and suddenly, it was like a whole prepared course, and every participant, they had like a handout, and we didn't have it because we were not part of the course. We just came to join that specific class because that day was Gabriel's birthday. So one of the ladies that was in the class, which I never met her before in Venezuela. The community is pretty tight, so we kind of know each other. But there was a lady sitting there that I've never seen before. She turns around to us randomly, and she tells us, here, look at this. I want to show you this in the handout. And she gives us the handout, and in the handout said the following line. It said, when a person, when it is a person's birthday in this world, in the physical world, you give them a present, you give them, you know, something that they like. But when it's the birthday of a person after the person passes on, when you say Kaddish for that person, or you learn Torah in that person's name, it's as if you're giving him a present, because that's what the soul appreciates once it leaves this physical world. It happened randomly. She had no idea who we were. We had no idea who she was. And it was crazy. Like, we felt that kind of like Gabriel was, I mean, of course, we'll never know. I guess we'll know when Mashiach comes, but we felt like kind of Gabriel was giving us a message, like, this is how you give me a present on my birthday, by doing a shiur, by attending to a Torah class or something in my name. You know, that concept of the effect that we can have on a person's soul after the person passes on by us doing a good deed in this physical world was very, very powerful for us and very meaningful. So yeah, just wanted to share.
Yeah, I wanted to point out the question that Priscilla asked. If at the time, if you believed in the soul and knew that you're going to meet again, because I mean, now obviously you look like a rabbi. I'll paint.
Moishi, I am a rabbi, Moishi.
Yeah, I know. I know you're a rabbi. I'm saying, but you actually look the part, as compared to I'll still have that memory. That night, Friday night, we had the Shabbat meal. That the evening after Gabriel passed away, and I think everybody that was there still remembers the same memory of Bimbi with his big afro, like curly afro, and it was probably 3 hours into the Shabbat meal, and after a couple beers, and we were singing different Shabbat songs, different Jewish songs. And Bimbi was holding 2 empty beer bottles and drumming with the sides of the bottle and the bottom, like a whole thing. So we didn't discuss, your journey or David's journey or Daniel's journey. Everybody had different journeys, but I think for sure there was, maybe you want to speak a little bit more about, I know David mentioned it and you also, about that. After that, you started looking to find out more about the soul. I don't know exactly which beliefs you had before and which not, but it's not. It definitely took time and was a process, like you were saying. It's maybe one of you has something you want to say about that.
So actually, I want to say, David, let me just say, and then you can continue because I feel like it's a little bit more drastic in my case, being that I'm trying to find a picture. I'll share a picture with you guys soon. I'll share my screen so you can actually appreciate the story of the afro to see really what it means. Um, I still kind of a little afro right now, but not the original one. Um, I so I was always really a very spiritual person. I was not religious, but I always believed in the existence of the soul. Always, even when I wasn't religious. Not maybe not in the Jewish sense, maybe not in the way that that Judaism speaks about the soul, but I for sure believed in the concept of a spiritual presence in every human being and really in everything in the world. And I can say that I actually did have experience. I experienced spirituality before I was religious because I am a musician, and through music and David can attest to this, like many songs actually when I was in high school, which is also very interesting. Before I even was religious, before even learning anything about the Torah, I wrote a song about God and how everything that happens in our world and our reality really comes from a higher being and a higher power. So I did believe in the soul, and I did had the concept of like I did believe, but again, it wasn't in a Jewish way. Then when I was introduced to the Jewish concept of the soul, things started clicking much more. Like, oh wow, that's what it means to have a soul. Like a soul is not just like a spiritual, like a white light that you have inside, and like if like when the person passes away, the white light goes away. Like no, like there is a structure to the soul. There is a meaning to the soul. So it definitely, once I started learning in Judaism the meaning of the soul, it gained much more meaning and it made much more of a deeper impression in myself. But I did believe in the existence and the presence of a spiritual energy that every single being has. I did have that belief before.
Yeah, actually, myself, I had the same beliefs as Jeffrey before, but I remember one of the things that I learned about the souls is that when every time we go to bed in the night and we get sleep, one part of our souls goes up, and in the morning it returns to the body. And I remember that the first month or something, I had a lot of dreams, and I dreamed with Gabriel a lot, and for me were like nightmares, because when I get up I was like, wow, what happened? It was real or not? And I get confused, and happened me a lot until I heard that concept, and I understand that maybe or the way I interpreted was that my soul, every time that I was dreaming with Gabriel, was a real contact between the part of my soul that was going up and touch and getting in touch with him, and then it comes down, but every time that I dream with Gabriel, uh, instead, from that day on, it wasn't anymore a nightmare. It was like I was enjoying, like I have, I don't know, like some sort of a recess or some quality time with him in my dreams, and then I come back and I feel like it was like him sending me a message of support, like I'm here and I'm always gonna be here. And it happens to me, of course, in that moment was like more frequently, and today is less. But every time that I dream with him or something related, uh, and when I get up, I feel more calm because I feel like part of my soul got in contact with him, and it gave me a lot of strength in that moment when I learned that concept, in order to continue. But yeah, I also remember that when I was learning a lot, Priscilla, all of these things, I also had a lot of doubts and question and things that doesn't click me as easy as Moshe was saying, but still, I think the best way to do it is to keep asking question until you realize or until you find the correct answer. It's not something that happened from one day to another. It took us a month or maybe a year until we really understand all the things. And of course, when the body has those hard feelings in these moments that are so difficult to process it, because it's a shock and it's something that we were not expecting, uh, time is a very good friend of healing those pains, and it's not forever. as Daniel said before, the feeling is going to change, is going to progress, there are going to be better days than others, but definitely with the time, the conclusions start getting more sense, and the things start moving forward in a good sense, and that's basically the message that I want to share.
Thanks. I'm going to share now. I'm going to try again to share the videos from Gabriel Chacron. So hopefully this will work. Let's see.
And in the meantime, if you want to see the afro, Moshe shares the photo.
Yes,
Like
I
a
posted a
kind of
picture in the
vintage.
chat, one that I ripped off Facebook, but it has actually David and Moshe together.
In Israel, yeah. Now that my friends say that from what I had in the afro came to the beard, so
let me see if this is gonna work. I don't know what's going on here. Let's try this.
Hola, mi nombre es Gabriel Chocrón y vivo en Israel, por eso no puedo estar con ustedes online, pero me era importante igual estar con ustedes de alguna forma y compartir con ustedes. Sé que están pasando por momentos difíciles, pero quería primero que nada enviarles mi fuerza y mi cariño y decirles que aquí estoy para ustedes en lo que pueda estar. Quería darles un par de mensajes también de cosas que a mí me hubiese gustado que me dijeran cuando todo pasó y que de alguna forma a mí me ayudaron con esa situación. El primer mensaje es que no tengan miedo, y más que nada no tengan miedo de llorar, no tengan miedo de sentir, no tengan miedo de tener dolor. Llorar, sentir, tener dolor, no solamente que no los hace más débiles, sino que los hace más fuertes. Háganlo con sus amigos, con sus seres queridos, sus familiares, gente que los quiere, que los pueda entender y que va a estar ahí con ustedes para que puedan salir adelante con todo esto. No se guarden las cosas por dentro, sino que intenten pasarlo junto a alguien y juntos se van a dar cuenta que pueden tener mucha fuerza y salir adelante. Y lo segundo que les quiero compartir es un pensamiento que a mí me tomó mucho tiempo entender, pero que a la larga lo entendí y que hoy en día es uno de mis columnas vertebrales en mi vida. Yo pensé mucho en qué había cambiado en mi vida del día de antes de que pasara lo de Gabriel, Zichrono Libraja, al día después de que Gabriel se fue, Zichrono Libraja. Y pensé y pensé y pensé. Y me di cuenta de algo. Gabriel era uno de mis mejores amigos, un hermano. Crecí con él casi que desde el primer día de mi vida. Compartimos millones de momentos. Lo quería realmente como un hermano, lo quiero realmente como un hermano. Y sin embargo, hasta el día que se fue, Gabriel era algo externo a mí. Desde el día en que Gabriel se fue, Gabriel se convirtió en algo que está dentro de mí. Y no está dentro de mí solamente para llorar el día de su yahrzeit o el día de su cumpleaños, sino que principalmente Gabriel está dentro de mí para darme fuerza, para servirme de motor, para servir de inspiración. De alguna forma, el día en que Gabriel se fue y entró dentro de mí, Gabriel se convirtió en el motor más grande que tengo en mi vida, la inspiración más grande que tengo en mi vida y en lo que me hace cada día decir qué puedo hacer hoy para hacer del mundo un lugar mejor en nombre de Gabriel. Pienso mucho en los mensajes que Gabriel me dejó, por ejemplo, de no tener miedo de decirle a la gente lo que sientes y cuánto los quieres. Pienso también en todas las cosas lindas que él ha sido durante su vida y cómo yo puedo seguir su legado dentro de mi vida y hacer del mundo un lugar mejor en su nombre. Como les digo, creo que no hay aquí una respuesta correcta, no hay aquí una sola cosa que les va a quitar el dolor y les va a responder todo, es un proceso, es difícil, pero lo importante es que podamos juntos salir adelante, que sepan que del otro lado del mundo tienen a gente que está aquí también para ayudarlos, para conversar cuando quieran y que los queremos mucho, que esperemos que salgan adelante, aunque no los...
Okay, and one more from Samuel Trusman. And yeah, the video ended there. I didn't stop it. It cut short. That's the way he sent it. I guess it cut off his last word.
It's usually like that. He sends video in the middle. Normal from Gabriel.
Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Samuel Truzman. Estoy aquí haciéndoles un video porque hace varios años pasé por algo similar a lo que ustedes están viviendo ahora. Realmente creo que no hay palabras que puedan comprender el dolor o el sentimiento de incertidumbre que todo esto genera. Pero quería compartir con ustedes una idea que compartieron conmigo en ese momento y que ha sido lo que me ha llevado toda la vida y hasta el día de hoy es algo que me ayuda. El concepto es que si yo pongo energía en una pelota y yo lanzo esa energía, lanzo esa pelota y la pelota se empieza a mover, esa pelota de repente puede que toque una botella y esa botella se cae y la energía se va transformando y se va transformando. Y llega un punto en el que la pelota se deja de mover o aparentemente pareciera que no hay nada moviéndose porque la botella ya se cayó, la pelota ya se movió y pareciera que no hay nada nuevo. Pero en estos casos ya sabemos que realmente la energía sigue ahí, que la energía ni se crea ni se destruye, sino que se transforma, a pesar de que no sea tan aparente dónde está en ese momento. Entonces, así como tenemos esa realidad con la energía, lo mismo pasa con las almas. Y las almas se transforman y pasan a un siguiente estado, que a nosotros como humanos obviamente nos cuesta muchísimo aprender a relacionarnos con esta nueva forma. Es muy difícil y se requiere tiempo y paciencia y cariño y entendimiento y aceptación para poder realmente pasarlo. Pero viene una etapa de aprender a relacionarse de esta manera nueva. Y yo, después de más de 10 años de haber vivido esto, para mí Gabriel Feigl sigue siendo una de mis razones principales para vivir, literal. Para hacer todo lo que hago, para motivarme, para entender lo importante que pueden llegar a ser mis acciones, la vida en general. Y yo siento que Gabriel está muy vivo adentro de mí y me sigue aconsejando y me guía por la vida. No ha salido de mi mente ni un segundo, pero he aprendido a relacionarme con Gabriel en esta forma nueva. Y siento que mis amigos, que están varios de ellos ahí con ustedes, hemos aprendido a llevar a Gabriel como una bandera, como un estandarte, como una guía. Y de esa forma también honramos su recuerdo y su existencia. Sé que es un momento difícil, yo no puedo estar en la conversación porque vivo en España, pero de verdad me pongo a disposición si cualquiera de ustedes quiere hablar de cualquier cosa. Estoy más que disponible para hablar y para lo que quieran. Les mando un abrazo muy fuerte a todos y se les quiere mucho. Un abrazo.
Thank you, Moishi. That was very nice.
That was very nice, beautiful video. Samuel Trusman is a singer. You can follow him on Instagram. Good musician. Bueno, final words to conclude. ¿No?
Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta, please, nos pueden mandar en el chat 100%. Moishi, de hecho vi ahí alguien que, alguien hizo una pregunta, Isaac Good, preguntó algo y no respondimos.
Oh, okay. I thought at the time when you were speaking, when the question came up, I thought you were like touching on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, if we want we could address it more directly.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say something regarding this. I'm just gonna read the question. If you can find it in the chat. Isaac, correct me if I'm wrong. Isaac, if you're there, he was asking.
Easy.
Is he here?
Yeah. Yeah, he's still on, I think.
He's still on. So correct me if I'm wrong. If I understand your question correctly, Isaac, he's saying that Gabriel had to. There's so many things that he could have gone through, graduation and raising a family, and it never happened, of course. So the question is, how are we able to find comfort in not having Gabriel go through these stages in life that we all had the opportunity to go through? And to that, I want to say, Isaac, that like what Samuel was saying, and I feel like this is a constant in all of us, Gabriel for sure was there. He did. I feel the moment I received my high school diploma, in that moment I was crying because I felt exactly that. Gabriel should have been here and he's not here receiving his diploma. But I guess that throughout life, that thought became the thought of recognizing that Gabriel can live these experiences through me. That's what helped me. Again, we're all saying the same things. Like 12 years have been by, and we have found ways to deal with it, but we never forget. We never like let it go. Rather, the opposite. The comfort is that we recognize how every step in my life, and even when I got married, I thought of him, and I kind of like try to bring his presence into my, like, trying to live those experiences for him in a sense. And I think that applies even more so when we do a mitzvah and when we do a good deed, like trying to you can be Gabriel, you can be Sholem's extension in this world right now. So that was something that I found comfort in, trying to have this thought of recognition that that it's not that he missed out, even though of course he didn't live these experiences himself, but I can try to bring him into my own personal life. And when I live those experiences, I try to make it like, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say I think about Gabriel every day now after 12 years. I don't, but every time that I have an opportunity to do something good, Gabriel comes into my mind, and or something big, I do think about him, and I feel like that way he's not missing out, rather he's living it through me. That's something that I feel I can say regarding that.
Yeah, taking Danny, you were going to speak.
Yeah, but you wanted to say something.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, David. I want to mention a last message from my side. It's very good what you guys are doing right now, speaking and being not covered, but like with other people, surrounded by other people, not by being by yourself alone. It's always better to be next to someone, next to a good friend, next to you, next to your brothers, your family members, your parents, your best friends. And I really believe, my conclusion from my side, that if something I would like you to learn from my perspective, what I would like you to learn from my side is that this is only going to make you stronger. You're going to become a stronger person, and you're going to become a better person thanks to this unfortunate event that we had in your life. And we are here whenever you want. You can reach us out through Moshe, or not through Moshe, directly to us, and we can always speak, about it. In 10 years, we can speak about it again. In 5 years, whatever. So that being said, thank you, Moshe, from your side for organizing it. Moshe, Dave, good to see you. Menachem, again, mi sentido de pésame para ustedes. Good to see you, that you are strong and moving forward with your family and your brothers. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah,
David?
yeah. I was also going to share about it's a question. For example, Gabriel love baseball. He play baseball, and we play baseball all the time together in the school and in the team of Hebraica, of the Jewish club in Venezuela. And I remember also the first time that I played baseball after Gabriel passed away, and it was like really hard, and I feel weird that first time. But from then on, every time that I play like any sport, the first thing that it comes to my mind directly every time that I step into the court is thinking in how Gabriel enjoyed this much the sports, and that I need to do the same. That there's no way that I'm gonna be pissed in the court, or no matter what is the result, I need to enjoy the game because I know he's watching, and I know he will enjoy it too, because I remember always his positive attitude in the field, that you can be losing for many runs, and no matter what, he was always smiling, and it's something to learn those qualities, and to not complain for minor things in life. You realize that if you start seeing the life in that sense, and appreciating those things, your life, so it's gonna start becoming better and easier, and happier, because at the end, yeah, it's very important to accomplish our mission in this world, but it's more important to accomplish it being happy and being joyful, and enjoying every step we make in life, not only accomplishing the mission. And one last thing that I also want to share is for example, I had a really heavy experience, because the wedding of my sister was 8 days before Gabriel passed away. So they say like the week before of the wedding, it shouldn't be so many bad feelings, or how do you say luto in English?
Mourning.
Mourning inside of the house of the bride. So I couldn't even be with my family the last 8 days that I have my sister in my house, because I didn't feel like I was going to do anything positive in the house. But of course, like the day of the wedding of my sister came, and I was still like debating myself, like if I need to go to the wedding or not, because of course I didn't have like the strength to do it, until I asked again the same question: what Gabriel's want me to do in this moment, no? And yeah, I want to let's say finish this message with the same message that I started this conversation, that is, always think on not being selfish on how much we miss Gabriel or Sholem, is on what they want us to be doing in this moment, and not only the action, also the feeling of being happy in the moment, and really enjoying our life in every step we do. So well, I hope all these messages that we are sharing are helping. As we say in the beginning, we're just a regular Jewish person that happened with a similar situation 12 years ago, and I really hope that these words are helping and not harming. And of course, we're completely open to help, and to speak privately if you need. I'm completely open to help and support, and I'm here for you guys.
Thank you so much, David. I want to stress something, Moshe, before we go quickly. Again, I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to try to go through this together with someone else. I know now in Corona it's so hard, but try to make these Zoom meetings with Sholem's friends as frequent as you can. Don't it I know that sometimes you might feel that you want to just be in your room, lock yourself away. You could do that, but I'm telling you the amazing effect that it has to go through together with friends, with people that were connected with Sholem. It's really, really powerful. And again, I want to share also 100%. You know, we are here for you guys. We feel what you're going through. The most important thing of this conversation, like I told Moishi, was not necessarily for you to hear what our advice was, just for you to know that we are here for you and that we went through something similar, and we can, you know, if you want to just, if you feel that you need to speak to someone that can relate, and you know, someone like us, if for some reason you feel that we can help you, please, 100%, you know, Moishi has our contacts, and we are 100% available for you. Call us even at 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm speaking for David also. Call him up, wake him up. I know he'll be happy.
I'll be awake.
Yeah, we really love you guys, and we're here for you. And even though we don't know each other personally, this experience binds us together, and yeah, 100%. So please do, please, if you want to and you feel that it will help, we are here for you for sure.
Yeah, the other thing I just wanted to say is, like, Gabriel, I wasn't in your class, right? So I was like 3 years older, and I wasn't in your class. I was, you know, but what I experienced was more seeing my friends go through that. It was, in other words, I didn't know Gabriel so much to say that I lost a friend, but I got to, you know, I lived seeing my friends bury their friend. I still remember, you know, obviously that Friday afternoon or on Sunday by the cemetery, and seeing what you guys, you know, went through, and then as you bonded as friends in the years following, and, you know, we kept in touch. And I know I saw many of you go from, at the time, you know, broken teens at the time, from what you were experiencing, crying, you know, just the distress, I guess is a better word than broken. But I'm saying going through that, and now, you know, fast forward 12 years later, and, you know, everybody built up their lives, and the bond that you guys have, your grade as friends, is crazy. Like, it stands out, I think, from the classes before it and after it, that you guys really stuck together and became very close and helped each other out and kept each other going. And a friend, when I told a different friend that I was organizing this, so they were just realizing that you guys went from, you know, at the time what you experienced, at the time, the story of Gabriel, where you were in a, you know, probably more in a place of weakness, and now going forward 12 years, and that you're in a different place now, and maybe you're able to show, and you shared tonight some of what you experienced and how you built up the strength over time. And you're able to share that with other people that are now in that place. And I you know, and like I was saying about friends, I can't stress it enough about what I saw from you guys sticking together as friends is, so I would definitely say that for the friends of Sholem that are going through this, it's so important to stick together, find excuses to do stuff together, you know, be in touch, keep in touch, do things, whatever it is. Like I said, if now it's more virtual, and God willing, soon it will be more in person. And I know his team is going to have to continue playing and carrying on the team for him, or his other friends in each of his social groups. And just on the contrary, the friends that you maybe weren't as close with before, reach out to those friends. Like I said, you're all sharing something unique, and like some of you guys pointed out, there's a shared experience here, even if everybody's own experience is an individual experience, but there's also the shared communal experience. And God willing, you'll be able to help each other and to stay strong. And Yeah, and you know, the guys, everyone here that was here on now or before shared their contact info at some point, or if you need it, you know, you could find me, and I could forward you their email or their WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever it is. Just want to thank everyone that participated, and may we share only happy occasions, and we should be able to share extremely happy occasions soon, you know, when Mashiach comes, and we'll be able to do a nice big gathering with Gabriel, with Sholem, and with everyone else. I know there were others lost in the grade, but that it shouldn't take a tragedy for us to reach out to our friends. But now that it's happened, we should, you know, carry on. Like you said, you guys are all living Gabriel. Like Gabriel is very much alive through you guys, and there's no question that Sholem is going to live on through all his friends, and we shouldn't, none of us should, and none of you should ever have to know from such things. I guess if anybody has any final words, want to speak up, anybody at all, and if not, then we will tie this up and say a good night. And thank you, everyone, and for everyone that shared, both from the questions and those that spoke and the recorded messages. I think everybody tried to be as raw and open as about it as possible. And probably for many, this was, I don't know how much it was discussed in you know, in such a public forum, but I want to thank those that allowed themselves to be vulnerable for the sake of trying to help others. And it was also good to see you all. And it should be for happier occasions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Moshi.
Very, very nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll meet each other in happier times.
For sure, for sure.
Good night.